Okay, kom ons probeer weer. If your line for -9 goes here, nee, dan soek hulle mos waar lê f of x bo dit. Do you guys see? Bigger than or equal to. So that's what I'm going to work with. So it'll be all x values bigger than or equal to 0, but smaller than or equal to 3. From 0 to 3. Hoe weet ek dit kan nie verby 0 gaan nie? They tell you that that thing doesn't go below 0. Maar sien julle, hierdie is ook nog nie eintlik nuwe werk nie. You guys have been doing stuff like this with other graphs as well. Okay, then they say, write down the equation of the inverse function in the form y is equal to that. Include all restrictions. We'll talk about the restrictions now. So let's first start with f of x is negative root 27x, but I'm going to write it as y is equal to negative root 27x. Want dan is dit mos nou maklik om te sien wat jy met wat moet gaan ruil. Ek het nog nie begin om die inverse funksie te kry nie. I'm still busy with the original function. Okay. What do we need to do now? Swap x and y. Good. En nou moet ek mos net vir y alleen kry. So dan gaan ek sê hierdie is minus x is gelyk aan wortel 27y. I'm gonna do that on both sides. Kyk mooi, so die x word nou positief. So y will be equal to 1 over 27 x squared. Or you can write it as x squared over 27. Partykeer vra hulle vir jou skryf hom in die vorm so. So dan het jy net daai daar gaan insit. Maar hulle het spesifiek by hierdie ene gevra, skryf hom in die vorm y is gelyk aan. So that's your answer. Sien julle dat daai die vergelyking is van 'n parabool? A parabola has x squared in it. Okay. So if we go and draw that one, it will look something like this. And this is where the restriction part comes in. Want hulle sê vir jou gee alle beperkings. So we know if we have a parabola, we either limit it to smaller than or equal to 0 or bigger than or equal to 0. So which one did we use here? Hy het twee armpies, hy het hierdie ene en hy daai ene. Wat se een het ons gebruik? Die yes. I limited it to only that part. I'm going to show you now. It makes it easier if you understand that part. No, not actually that part. If you understand that part. So I'll go back to it now. Okay. Vir my is dit makliker om, ek wil amper sê die refleksie te sien. So do you guys see if this arm ended up here, then it couldn't have been reflected from there. It had to be reflected from there. And where is that? That is on the left-hand side of the y-axis. So dit is vir x waardes kleiner as of gelyk aan 0. And now you have to go write that down here. En dis deel van jou antwoord. So that also counts a mark. Want jy moet geweet het die parabool moes beperk gewees het na kleiner as of gelyk aan 0. Okay. Now, on Bashira's question. Remember, here we have x is smaller than or equal to 0. Okay. What did we say about the relationship between the domain and the range of my two functions? Ons het mos gesê, die waardeversameling van die een word die definisieversameling van die ander ene en andersom ook. Okay. So stem julle saam, hierdie is die definisieversameling van die ene. Né? Okay. So we said before, this can either be positive or negative. If it's positive, it means that y is bigger than or equal to 0. If it's negative, it means that y is smaller than or equal to 0. That will be the range. So sien julle vir die een waarmee ek nou werk, was die waardeversameling gewees y is kleiner as of gelyk aan 0. So in other words, that you swap around and you get that the parabola will be x is smaller than or equal to 0. So you take it from there. If that was positive, this one would have looked like this. So dan gaan hy so lyk. Okay. Hoe meer mens oefen van hierdie, hoe makliker sien jy hulle raak ook. So, now they say sketch that one in your answer book. Indicate the intercepts with the axis and the coordinates of one other point. So ek het hom nou eintlik klaar hierso geteken. Daarso het ons sy afsnit. Wat 'n ander punt gaan lê op hierdie grafiek van my? Mooi. Sien julle dit? That can also sort of be a clue to where you should draw it. Okay, en nou by die laaste ene is dit gewone transformasies. Hulle sê nou vir jou, describe the transformation from F to G if G is equal to that. So, you guys agree this is F, so you're not looking at that inverse function at all now. G will look like this. Hoe weet ek dit? Want hulle gee het net positief wortel 27x, né? Sien julle, hulle gee vir jou die vergelyking daar. Okay, so if they're asking for describe the translation or the transformation. Wat het ek gedoen met die pink grafiek om op die blou grafiek te kom? Reflection in what? In the x-axis. And that's your answer. Jy gaan net skryf, jy reflekteer hom in die x-as.